Good morning. I'm Mike Nikitas, and this is GNN Headline News. The fire in the Red Hook section of Brooklyn is at this hour largely contained, say local officials. The fire, which engulfed at least one city block and caused the evacuation of several neighborhoods, was started by an explosion, the cause of which remains a mystery. The residential neighborhoods around these events are still under an evacuation order due to a vapor hazard caused by the explosion and the resulting fire. We go now to Greg Navarro, who joins us with new details regarding this story. Greg, last night, Mayor Bloomberg held a news conference giving details on the possible cause of the explosion. They believe the explosion occurred in the Red Hook warehouse yard where shipping containers are stored. What more can you tell us this morning?
Mike, a team of federal, state, and local investigators have been working throughout the night trying to piece together exactly what happened. Now, I've spoken to someone close to the investigation. They tell me explosives experts believe.
More on the latest news. We go now to Latoya Edwards in the Storm Central newsroom. Latoya?
Thanks, Mike. This hurricane has certainly taken its toll on this community. Many local and state resources are stretched to their limits. Shelters all around the state are operating at full levels and probably will continue to operate at full capacity for at least the next 24 hours. Even with the crowded conditions, most people are just glad to have made it through the storm.
Oh, the storm was brutal last night.
Good afternoon. I'm Jennifer Vaughn. Thank you for joining us. It's been 2 days since Hurricane Zephyr swept through the Commonwealth, and at this hour, more bad news for Northern Virginia. The National Weather Service has just issued tornado watches in that area for this afternoon. We'll have more on this late-breaking weather news later in the broadcast with meteorologist Tom Kelly. A tragic story from the town of Lightfoot. News 4 has received reports of a family discovered dead in their collapsed home several hours ago. Fire and rescue personnel were alerted by neighbors who reported that they had not seen the family of 4 since the storm. After searching the debris pile that was once their home, firefighters found 2 adults and 2 children. The names of the deceased are not available pending notification of family.
It's been several days now since the devastating hurricane hit this community. The cleanup continues, as does the heartbreak from losing so much and waiting for some relief. Many in this community are already starting to rebuild their homes. Others lost their houses entirely and are left in a fog of devastation.
We've lost everything in the house. I don't know where to begin.
John Smith's house was gutted by the hurricane. He's now waiting to start rebuilding his life and the house his grandfather built.
It's really tough seeing your family history and all this hard work in this condition. And then they're telling us that our insurance claim may take weeks, even months to go through. You know, we're in a hotel now, but we're running out of money. I don't know how much longer we're going to be able to stay there. It's going to take a long time for us to get back into this house.
John's not alone in his financial woes. Many Social Security and welfare recipients are left without their government-issued checks, and now they have no way to receive them because they've evacuated from their homes, if they still have them, and aren't able to get them through the Postal Service.
We go now to Jennifer Vaughn, our Homeland Security correspondent at our Washington Bureau, with new information tonight about this developing story. Jennifer?
Thank you, Mike. This afternoon, federal and state law enforcement officials served over 40 warrants and made numerous arrests across 4 states against Los Zetas, a group that has law enforcement in this part of the country particularly concerned. Los Zetas is known to be an organized, highly disciplined, and especially well-armed criminal entity. Members are former commandos drawn from the special operations units of several Latin American militaries, as well as regular soldiers and police officers who are now working as mercenaries for various drug cartels.
Primarily involving the stockpiling and trade of arms and explosives. The group has reportedly held so-called demo weekends in parts of rural Kentucky, which provide a forum for the buying and selling of explosives and firearms. The group's leader, Gary Barnett, was well known to law enforcement officials due to his broadcasts on his own pirate shortwave radio station.
This is one of the busiest times in the tourist season for this beach, which typically sees hundreds of thousands of visitors each year. But as you can see, the wind is picking up, and just miles off this coastline is a storm that could devastate the entire summer season for businesses and vacationers alike. The National Weather Service says this immense storm is likely to hit this area in the next few days. Local businesses and state officials have already started preparing for its impact. Some hotels have been encouraging their guests to leave earlier than planned.
Hey, Lois, good to see you. You remember Kathy and Frank?
Yeah, hi. How are you both? How are your kids doing?
Oh, they're great. They're both at Tech.
Yeah, and it's back to peace and quiet at home now.
I wish I could say the same thing for me.
Why? What's going on?
Well, it's the damnedest thing. When I got home after seeing you, I found 5 more chickens dead.
What can I get you?
Coffee and a ham sandwich, please.
Oh, okay, I'll be right back.
Thank you, ma'am.
So what's going on with the chickens? Do you have a fox or something?
No, they haven't been eaten. They're just dead.
Was their water clean?
Yeah, it was the same as always. Everything was the same as always, except for that new laying hen that I bought on Saturday. She was the first one I found dead this morning.
Did you contact the guy you bought the hen from? Has he had problems with any of his chickens?
Well, that's the problem. I did something I don't normally do. I bought it from a guy at the farmer's market who I don't know. I don't know how to get in touch with him.
Well, that's a problem. I don't know how you're going to get your money back now.
Well, I'm more concerned about keeping my other hens alive at this point. Thank you, ma'am.
Do you think there's anything else in the pen that might be killing them?
No. I did notice this strange swelling in their heads. That was really weird. I'd never seen anything like that before.
Hey, wait. I think I saw something like this on some news show I was watching on TV. 2020 or something maybe. But anyway, they said head swelling was a sign of the avian flu.
You know, Lewis, I couldn't help it over here, but your chicken problems sound a lot like what we had at work back in 2002. You know, what a mess. Quarantines, having to kill all those turkeys and chickens, and then what to do with the bodies after they were destroyed. That avian bird flu is nasty stuff. If you ask me, I'd call a vet or something.